Today, we're diving into the recent executive orders signed by President Trump focused on improving support for veterans, military personnel, and their families. To start us off, can you explain what an executive order is and why it's a powerful tool in shaping veteran services?
Absolutely. An executive order is a directive from the president that manages operations of the federal government. In the context of veteran care, it allows the president to quickly implement policy changes within agencies like the VA, often bypassing lengthy legislative processes.
That makes sense. So these orders have the potential for immediate impact. With that in mind, let's transition into the first major initiative, the National Center for Warrior Independence. The new National Center for Warrior Independence on the West Los Angeles VA campus aims to serve homeless veterans. Can you break down the center's core services and its intended impact by 2028?
Certainly. The center's goal is to house up to 60 veterans by 2028, offering not just shelter, but integrated services like substance abuse, treatment, and employment support. It's an ecosystem approach, addressing multiple aspects of reintegration.
That holistic model is interesting. Are there any comparable initiatives elsewhere, or is this approach unique to Los Angeles?
While there are smaller scale models in cities like Houston and Chicago, this center scale and combination of services are unprecedented. The hope is that it will serve as a national blueprint for veteran care.
You mentioned homelessness. As of recent statistics, nearly 40 veterans are homeless in the U.S. What systemic barriers do homeless veterans face, and how does the new center address these hurdles?
Homeless veterans often face compounded barriers, mental health issues, lack of affordable housing, and limited job prospects. By integrating housing with health and employment services, the center tackles these challenges simultaneously, reducing the drop-off that occurs when services are fragmented.
So, by providing a one-stop environment, the center minimizes the risk of veterans falling through the cracks. That's a significant shift from traditional siloed approaches.
Exactly. Research shows that coordinated care models can reduce chronic homelessness by up to 50%. This executive order leverages that evidence to create a scalable solution.
Moving on, the executive order also addresses VA accountability. What mechanisms are being put in place to deal with employee misconduct, and why is this so critical for veterans' trust in the system?
The order empowers the VA to act swiftly against employees involved in misconduct ranging from negligence to fraud. It also calls for a review of cases where previously fired employees were reinstated with back pay, ensuring that accountability isn't undermined.
Can you provide an example of how lack of accountability has affected veterans historically?
Certainly. The 2014 VA wait time scandal in Phoenix, where delayed care led to patient deaths, highlighted severe oversight failures. Strengthened accountability is intended to prevent such tragedies from recurring.
While accountability is essential, some critics worry about due process for VA employees. How does the executive order address the balance between swift action and fair treatment?
The order requires transparent investigations and documentation, so actions against employees are evidence-based. There are still appeal processes in place, but the goal is to streamline procedures and eliminate unnecessary delays that previously hampered disciplinary action.
It's a delicate balance. Are there precedents for this approach in other federal agencies?
Yes, similar reforms were enacted in the Department of Homeland Security after 9/11 to expedite disciplinary cases while protecting employee rights. The VA is adapting these best practices to fit its unique context.
Let's shift to healthcare access. The executive order mandates expanded hours, weekend appointments, and virtual care to reduce wait times. What's the expected impact of these changes on veterans' health outcomes?
Extended hours and telehealth options should significantly decrease the average wait time, which has been a chronic issue. For example, a 2019 RAND study found that wait times over 30 days increased ER visits by 15%. By improving access, the VA aims to prevent such downstream health crises.
How might these changes affect rural veterans, who often have the hardest time accessing care?
Telehealth is particularly transformative for rural veterans. It allows them to consult specialists remotely, saving hours of travel. Early pilots in Montana showed a 40% increase in appointment completion rates after virtual care was introduced.
Speaking of telehealth, can you explain how these virtual platforms work and what challenges the VA faces in scaling them nationwide?
Virtual care platforms use encrypted video and secure messaging to connect veterans with providers. The main challenges are ensuring stable internet connections, especially in remote areas, and training both staff and veterans on new systems. The VA has been investing in broadband expansion to bridge this gap.
Beyond convenience, are there concerns about quality of care when services shift online?
That's a key question. While routine checkups and mental health counseling adapt well to telehealth, some complex cases still require in-person visits. The executive order emphasizes a hybrid approach to maintain high standards.
One unique aspect is the directive to study a full-service VA medical center in New Hampshire. Why is this significant, and what are the current limitations for veterans in that state?
New Hampshire is the only contiguous U.S. state without a full-service VA hospital, meaning veterans often travel out of state for specialized care. The feasibility study aims to assess demand, infrastructure needs, and potential partnerships with local hospitals to finally close this gap.
What might be some hurdles in establishing a full-service facility there?
Funding is always a challenge, as is recruiting specialized staff in less populated areas. However, telemedicine and resource sharing with local health systems could offset some of these barriers.
While the focus is often on veterans, these executive orders also mention support for families. Can you elaborate on the specific resources proposed for military families under these reforms?
The reforms include family counseling, job training for spouses, and childcare support. Research from the Military Family Advisory Network shows that stable family environments directly improve veteran recovery rates, so these services are vital to holistic care.
Are there examples of how these family-oriented services improve outcomes?
Certainly, programs in Texas that provided joint counseling and employment assistance reduced family homelessness among veterans by 30%. The intention is to replicate such successes nationally.
As we wrap up, how will the effectiveness of these executive orders be measured, and what might we expect for the future of veteran care if these initiatives succeed?
Success will be tracked using metrics like housing placements, wait times, and patient satisfaction scores. If these reforms achieve their targets, we could see a nationwide model where veteran care is more accessible, responsive, and comprehensive.
That's a hopeful vision. As always, continued oversight and adaptation will be key to ensuring these reforms deliver lasting change for those who served.